Hi, this is Stephanie with Odessa After Dark.
On this episode of Odessa After Dark, we investigate the 1989 unsolved murder of 15-year-old Odessa High School student Wendy Burdette. And we travel to Mudrock Studios, the newest recording studios here in the Permian Basin, and speak to recording engineer Anthony Nieto.
Hi, you're here with Stephanie with Odessa After Dark, and we're here with Anthony Nieto with Mudrock Recording Studios. Anthony, tell us a little bit about your background.
I graduated my degree in recording arts and science from Full Sail University at Winter Park, Florida, right by Orlando. After that, I spent a lot of time traveling to various studios around Texas between, Corpus Christi, San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, doing a lot of work as a session musician, as a session guitarist and pianist. And then just after traveling so much, we opened this amazing studio here with Ken Goldsmith with Mudrock Recording Studio, and now I'm here permanently full time. So this is my home studio now.
So your previous job, I hear, was at KMID, and now you're here at this fabulous studio. So give me the ups and downs of working in KMID and here at Mudrock.
I guess I would say they're two different animals. They're just completely different. When you're in TV and broadcast is different than being in a facility where what we do here is polished before it ever hits the radio. We have a lot more time to make sure we get the takes or things like that. And working for a company like KMID for ABC here in Midland, Texas, everything's on the spot. It's on the air. It's live. It's news. You come in, 4 hours before to get ready for the newscast from the night you had before. Sometimes you'll still have reporters out on the streets, I guess, and you're just doing everything as it comes.
Right.
So being over here is not so much a slower pace. It's a lot more detailed. The amount of work that goes into it is just a longer span. And anytime we have artists comes in here, they're not usually like, well, I want to be there 4 hours to get it done.
Right.
They spent months and months, and they'll spend hours and hours and hours
beforehand.
And able to perfect. Yeah, even beforehand. Yeah, though. The smartest thing I ever tell any artist that come in here is, if you really want to get a good product when you come out of here, is going to be the amount of pre-production you do before you get here. The preparation, your lead sheets. If you have a producer, make sure they're on the same page with you. That you have come in and talked with the engineers of the studio, the owners, so we can all together figure out what your goal is, what your financial goals are, what it is that you're looking to invest, and that way we can all really make sure we give you the kind of product that you're going to be happy with. So they're very, very, very different, but this is definitely this is more where I belong.
That's where you belong. This is home, huh?
This is home.
Home is where the heart is. Okay. So Anthony, we're here in Midland, Texas. Friday Night Lights. My question, big question, is whose vision was it to bring Mudrock Studios to Midland, Texas?
The recording studio here was open about the doors flew open September 1st, and the owner of the studio, the man with the vision behind all this, is Kenneth Goldsmith, who owns Mudsmith here, and he's had a heart and a big passion for music since he was younger. Well, he was spending a lot of time traveling to Nashville, Tennessee, home of country music, I guess you could say. And just after traveling over there, he really wanted to bring something into this area that was that could compete with the same style in class that you would be able to see if you went to a studio in Nashville or New York or LA.
Right.
So he ended up hiring and working. The man that built the studio, the actual architect, is Michael Cronin, who did Blackbird Studios out of Nashville. That's Martina McBride Studios. He built Taylor Swift's home studio and her house. So he came out of Nashville and LA, and they're the ones who actually designed and built this. Some of the other things, before we get into looking into the live room, which we'll walk into in a minute, these monitors right here are actually soffit mounted. So this entire wall right here is solid concrete. So even when we turn these speakers on, there's no vibrations through the floors. There's no vibration to the outside of the walls. And if we notice, even the angle that the speakers are faced to the center console is at an equilateral triangle, which allows perfect phase. So the sound doesn't hit one ear before the other. Everything stays consistent. And even the near field monitors that we have are set up the same way, to where our mix position when we're making a record is perfect. It's the stereo image that we are able to see and hear. And I use the word see because if you bring up a vocal, you can almost tell the depth perception of where that vocal's sitting. That's how accurate this room is. There's no, the walls here in the studio are all soft. Behind these walls, there's more wall. There's no parallel surfaces inside of this, in this facility, in this room or the live room. So we don't get any standing waves. We don't have any reverberation. Once you kind of stop talking, the sound goes away. Right. So these entire surfaces are entirely soft, and behind these walls are more walls that are built, that are isolated, that are floating, to really just allow us to have the sound that we want to hear is the sound from the speakers. But it's a very flat EQ response. So what we're hearing is what we want to hear.
So Anthony, where are we now?
This right here is the live room of Mudrock Recording Studio. Now inside of this room, one of the first things that you'll notice is it's got a very live sound, but it's not reverberant. It doesn't have a really big echo in here. The floors in here are floated. The walls are floated, as well as the ceiling, which means nothing touches each other. It's all floated on a rubber or on a foam that stops the vibrations from affecting each wall. So as soon as you talk, you get that bright, you get that active, that real live sound, out of a cymbal decay or something like that. But once you stop talking, it's gone. Yeah. Which is what you want to record. Right. You want a controlled environment, but not dead. A lot of people with home studios or other studios, you'll see just all the walls have foam on it, and and it sounds like you're singing into a box. Yeah. It's not what you want, and vice versa. If all the walls were hard, it's just so echoey, you really can't do anything with it to a certain point either. So in here, we've got the blend of the very controlled, the softer walls like we have on all these walls right here on the back walls, and the only hard surface in here is going to be this front wall and the diffusers that we have on this back wall. Now what the diffusers do is anytime that we have a sound wave start to bounce back, the wavelength will hit this wall, and what it does is it spreads up the frequencies, it spreads up the sound wave, so that we don't have any standing waves this way. So this is part of what makes the room sound live without sounding dead, but keeping it controlled. So that's what a diffuser will do. Now, after you kind of sit in here, you can kind of feel it it's a little wet in here. Yeah. The humidity inside this room is maintained at 40% at all times, which is perfect for your vocal cords, acoustic instruments. If you bring acoustic guitar or something, you're going to record the next day, we can set up and send, and your guitar, it's so controlled, will acclimate within a couple hours. The air in here is completely purified and filtered, so the air's clean. If you have allergies, even after if you come in here, 20 minutes later, your kind of allergies are gone. It's completely filtered. We have, between these rooms, 8 tons of airflow, so it's not really a fan forced. You don't hear the air blowing in here. It's 8 tons of air that just comes and will settle here. So it's completely quiet even when it's running at full volume. Wow. We're not going to hear anything.
We're here in the ballroom. Now tell me the purpose of the ballroom.
Okay. This is the ballroom here at Mudrock Recording Studio. Now, one of the first things, since we're right here, I want you to notice is to the right, we can see into the control room of the studio portion of it. This is what we're going to utilize the space for. What we can utilize it for is another live room or a live venue to be able to do shows, concerts, anything like this. But you'll see we have a mic panel right here below me, and there's actually one just behind the drums against this back wall. So we can use this room to also record into the control room. Now, a benefit with that is anytime that we have a live concert or performance or a talent show or something that wants to utilize this venue, we'll be able to send a front of house mix to the front of house engineer, but also record all the separate channels live into the recording studio. That way you get the same quality as you would on a CD, but everything that's done for everybody else to hear is independent. And in this room, we also can utilize the Aviom systems. We have clean power and isolated grounds all along the wall panels on the mounts behind it. Oh, another thing that I could say for any of the talent that we have coming to Mudrock Recording Studio is we have a collection of session instruments, guitars, acoustic guitars. So like we just actually got this in. This is the DW Collector Series. This is all maple shells, which will go from 10-inch toms all the way up through 18, size by size. Collection of guitar amps that we'll see in between some of these baffles, as well as I'm sure y'all probably saw some of the other guitar amps that are in the live room. So what we're doing here is building something to, like I said, as we have musicians in this area that want to experience what else Nashville or something we have, they're going to have these session musicians, they're going to have the instruments at their disposal if they need it. So it's not like, oh, we got to go there, but we don't have a drum set or we don't have this. We're going to have the drum sets, you know, we're going to have a collection of amps, guitars, acoustic guitars. We have a collection of mics for vocal singers, to where even when you're recording your vocal, we'll make sure that we pair it with the vocalist, and we'll pair it with the right preamp. And I mean, we'll get very detailed to make sure that the sound that you're getting is exactly what you want. Now, if you'll pan around up on top, this is called the Ballroom because we have theater seating inside of this venue. We're able to seat over 200 people.
So you can have listening parties.
Exactly. So say you're a band and you want to come in and record your full CD and you want to rent out the facility for your CD, your live CD release party. Well, come in here, record your CD, get that done, do your CD release party, have everybody come in, buy their tickets, sell your CDs. While you're here doing that, book the recording studio, get a live recording, then release a live CD of the CD that you just did, and you know, knock out 3 birds with one stone. You know?
It's like Walmart. You got everything you need.
Everything. And actually, another thing here is you'll notice we have 3 HD projection screens up against this wall, and the projectors are just sitting under the ledge right there. But if you have any music videos, anything that you want to play, we'll be able to broadcast them while you're live. Back here, or if you're an oil company or a bank that wants to do a Christmas party and you just want something right in the back, we'll be able to project that here on the back screens for you.
Unfortunately, we're at the end of our tour for Mudrock Recording Studios, and I'd like to thank Anthony and Mr. Goldsmith for allowing us to come in and tour and just giving us so much information. And it's like, wow, you don't know, it's like a blessing. Like, I didn't want to wake up this morning, and this is why I was supposed to get my butt up and get out here. And like, this is just like wow. I just, like, thanks.
Oh, no, you're welcome. And, you know, I think I gave you a pretty good foundation of what we have here and what we can do for anybody interested in coming to our studio here, to our facility, our venue. But anybody, you can reach me at Anthony Nieto at Mudrock Recording Studio.com. You can go to Mudrock, let me see, I have a card here, let me just make sure I'm verified. www.mudrockstudio.com. That's our website for the studio. You can go on there and look at a lot of the updates that we'll have. My personal email is Anthony Nieto at mudrockrecordingstudio.com. You can find my contact information on there, anything like that that you need. And that'll really give us the ability to work with you one-on-one and come in for your own tour. You know, just give us a call, send me an email on my email, and any talent that's out there will just come in and look. We'll give you that very personalized. We're here to build relationships and to work with people and to bring something big to this, from the big cities to here, but with that small town, I know you, intimate. We're here to work with you.
One-on-one.
One-on-one, yeah.
On the morning of Friday, February 17, 1989, sophomore Wendy Burdette was expected at Odessa High School just like every other Friday. But according to classmates, she never arrived. She told two friends before that Friday that she was ditching school to meet a boy on 2nd Street at the salvage yard.
On Friday, February 17th, 1989, classmates said that Wendy Burnette was going to meet a gentleman at this location. At 4 p.m. that day, workmen found her body stabbed multiple times. Nobody has ever been charged in this case.
This is the house that Wendy shared with her parents at 1605 Santa Rosa. This is the place that she left and was never seen alive again. What happened between this location and the location on 2nd Street?
What is clear is, in this age, before the internet, that whoever Wendy came to meet was an acquaintance or somebody that she knew. Why is there no arrest made in this case? What are the circumstances that led somebody to brutally kill Wendy? These are some of the questions that we'll ask on this episode of Odessa After Dark, and we'll continue to probe into the poor, unfortunate murder of this 15-year-old young girl, Wendy Burnette. I'm here at Odessa High, where Wendy was a sophomore in 1989. Two of her friends, according to the Odessa American, said that she was going to meet a gentleman on 2nd Street at the salvage yard. So we're looking for other people who can confirm this story, because was this a popular place to hang out? And why meet a gentleman at the salvage yard? So this is some of those unanswered questions that we have. Was this somebody that she knew? Somebody that she went to school with that she was meeting? And so if you have any information on this that you'd like to provide us, go to odessaafterdark@aol.com, or if you wish to remain anonymous, please go to the Odessa Crime Stoppers website.